Letter 22. Fidelity to the Call of God. To a Postulant, on Abandonment in the Trials to which Vocation is subject. All that you have told me and written to me makes me convinced that God calls you to religion, and in particular to the order of the Visitation. Your interior attraction to this order, and the reasons you allege for it, do not leave a doubt of this double vocation, for as there is one for religion in general, there is also one for this or that community in particular. It only remains for you to be faithful to the call of God, and thus to make sure your predestination. Now this fidelity requires 3 things of you. First, you must endeavor to preserve in your heart, in spite of every obstacle, both exterior and interior, this attraction towards God with the sincere desire to follow it, when He who has given it to you will Himself provide the means by which you will be able to concentrate yourself to His service in reality, as you have already done beforehand in your mind and heart. Your second duty is to hope against hope, as Abraham did. That is, to believe firmly that, as God is all-powerful and that nothing in the world can resist Him, He will know how to overcome all the obstacles and oppositions of men in His own time. All minds and hearts are in His hands, and He can turn them, as He will, without effort. It was by His simple fiat that He created all things out of nothing. Therefore, when the time arrives, He has but to say, fiat, and all the obstacles to your vocation will be removed. At present, He allows these obstacles to try your patience, your faith in Him, and your firm reliance on His powerful succor. Therefore, do not be alarmed, but continue to trust firmly in God. Do not trouble yourself, nor torment yourself at all, but submit to God generously, accepting all the trials He sends you, saying to Him without ceasing, Lord, may all that You will be accomplished in me at the time and in the way that pleases You. I accept all, and sacrifice my own interests, my wishes, and all the desires of my heart, to have none other than to obey and please You in all things. Your third duty is a great fidelity to your exercises of piety, prayers, readings, meditations, masses, confessions, communions, examens, and interior recollection, frequent raising of the heart to God, without ever giving up in the slightest degree any of these practices, either through grief, trouble, disgust, weariness, dryness, or for any other reason whatever. These trials are necessary to detach you from everything, and to keep you united to God, who alone should be your light, your support, your consolation, and your strength. Apparently, it is to make you practice this abandonment better that God has permitted you to be forbidden to enter the Visitation, so that, receiving no consolation except from Him directly, you should attach yourself purely and solely to Him, and thus gain great merit. You must, therefore, obey His orders, in obeying those who have the right from Him to command you. If the command should prejudice the welfare of your soul, God will not allow it to persist. He can easily put aside the obstacle when it is necessary. Therefore rest quietly, and without the slightest anxiety, in the arms of His merciful Providence, as a little child rests on the breast of its mother. Letter 23. The Value of Good Desires. To the same person, on the value of good desires. The increase of the desire to consecrate yourself to God is an additional grace of His mercy. To suffer all the pain of being unable to accomplish these ardent desires is, insomuch as you bear it with resignation, to correspond well with this grace, and to merit its continuance. The interior effort to maintain yourself in this state of resignation is a sort of martyrdom that will, sooner or later, be rewarded. God will carry out the pious design with which He has inspired you. The delay is intended to try your fidelity. If, in the meantime, you are getting on in years, you need not consider that, because you already possess the best part of what you wish for, which is the strong desire to consecrate yourself to God. This desire is, in the sight of God, the best part of the sacrifice, or, to speak correctly, it is the entire sacrifice, since you have already given yourself to Him in heart and soul, and are now sacrificing your most earnest desires in awaiting patiently the time chosen by His providence. Possibly this last sacrifice is of more value than the first, since by it you renounce more entirely your own will. Therefore be at peace and quite tranquil in the presence of Him who sees to the bottom of our hearts, and who takes all your good desires for performance. He has no need of anything that you could give Him, but He loves a heart that is ready and willing to sacrifice all. The fear of death and the judgments of God is a good thing, as long as it does not go so far as to cause you trouble and anxiety. Then it would be an illusion of the devil. For what is it that makes you afraid? Is it because you have not yet done what you have not been able to do? Does God require what is impossible? Is it, as you add, because you have as yet done nothing for heaven? Be careful again in this. It is a delicate subject, for it seems as if you wanted to acquire merit for your own assurance. This is not real confidence which can be founded on the mercy of God and the infinite merits of Jesus Christ. Any other confidence would be vain and presumptuous, since it would rest on your own nothingness, and I know not what wretched works which have no value in the sight of God. Without depending in any way on ourselves, let us try and accomplish with the help of God's grace all that He demands of us, and hope only in His goodness and in the merits of Jesus Christ, His Son. You are right in saying that more grace is required to save us in the world than in religion. From this I form the opinion that, evidently, a much more distinct vocation is necessary for those who have to remain in the world than for the religious state. But, at the same time, there are particular graces given to those who, against their will, have to remain in the world. God is then, as it were, obliged to take care of them. Therefore fear nothing. You are already a religious in heart and soul. Try to subject your mind, feelings, and actions to the spirit of the rules of this holy state, by a humble resignation and a perfect confidence in the fatherly goodness and power of that heavenly spouse whom you have chosen. He also regards you as His beloved spouse.